Hi, shalom friends. Can you think of an activity that you or someone else you know can do uninterruptedly for 6, 7, or even 8 hours without taking a break? As a matter of fact, after the activity ends, they still want to continue. Now, I was thinking of such an activity. I couldn't come up with anything. I know in education there are recesses. There are coffee breaks. There's lunch hour. Even caretakers need a couple of minutes for themselves. The only thing that came to mind to me was gaming. But a lot of people would say that gaming is actually an unhealthy concept. It's almost an addiction. So once again, an activity for hours at an end, and yet very difficult to stop that activity. And actually, there's one that stares you in the face, and that's called sleeping. People could sleep 7 hours or even 8 hours. The alarm clock goes off, and they don't want to get out of bed. And I'm wondering why. And not only don't they want to go out of bed, but I would say this with tongue-in-cheek, that they regard it as bad news. And they begin to bargain. Maybe another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes, or they deny. They say, no, it can't be so early. Or they get angry. Why is it so early? So what's so difficult about getting up from sleep? Now, I know what the conventional answer is. It's hard to leave something so warm and comfortable. But in my house, I live in a warm and comfortable house. In addition to which, another very pleasurable activity is called eating, and the kitchen is downstairs. So why do I find it so difficult to leave this warm and comfortable position to go to another warm and comfortable position, and perhaps even more? I think the answer lies in the concept of the change of position. When we're lying in bed, we're prone, which essentially means that our entire body is on the same level. That means your toes, your intestines, your head are all pretty much on the same plane or the same level. When you get up, you have to suddenly change a position where your head was on the same level of your foot, and now to stand erect, to stand on top. Now, basing myself on the teaching of one of the Rabbis of Chabad, I would suggest the following. When we are lying in bed, if you could look at this as a metaphor of life, we are thinking about ourselves only. Some people think about how to pleasure their stomach. Some people think how to pleasure the area beneath their waist. Other people think about how to pleasure their eyes, art, or their ears, music. But essentially, it's all about me. When you stand up, your head, being that it's on the top position, suddenly sees something beyond themselves. They see heaven. As a matter of fact, not only is the brain the highest part of the body, but it's actually easier to shift a little bit your gaze upwards than it is to look at your toes. If you want to see your toes when you're standing up, you actually have to bend your head. But if you're just a person that has normal, ordinary posture, for you to see heaven is very easy. And in a metaphoric way, seeing heaven means to remind yourself that there are things more important than just self-absorption or self-pleasure. And that, my friend, is a challenge. And I think part of waking up in the morning is to realize that my pleasurable 6 to 8 hours of being involved only with myself is now over. There are children that have to go to school. I have to go to work. There are responsibilities. There are accomplishments. There are challenges. And suddenly I realize that I have to stop thinking about only myself and look upwards to heaven to realize two things: that there's something much greater than me out there, and in humility to also ask for that help. I think we could all admire the person who jumps out of bed, energetic, beats the clock. But if you're an average Joe, chances are that getting up every day is a little bit strenuous. That should not depress us at all. It should actually remind us of the privilege of leaving the bed, the privilege of actually enhancing our life by going beyond ourselves. So, even before you get your morning coffee, one of the things you may think about in bed is, I acknowledge you, living God. You have given me back my soul. And I'm going to make this day not only a productive day, but I will bring down heaven to earth. Shalom.